Hello. We were curious if this was going to work. We had a really long pause. I see that I currently have our screen frozen, so let's go to what's actually going on. We are really moving through this unit quite fast because, well, the main portion of this unit is subtraction, and now we're going to hit measurement for a little while. It's not going to take us long. We'll be finished with this unit and on to our next one. So you at home can't see me, but I'm walking around with this big old stick with numbers on it. And we're going to be talking about things like that. So in your notebooks, you'll need to have you're going to make a chart. So you're going to want something like this. And we're going to look at the first column today, which is length, which might now explain why I'm walking around with a stick with numbers on it. So I'm by Akaya, poor girl. I pick on her frequently because she's right here. Okay, so Akaya, how far does that go on that side? 39 inches. She said inches right away. Oh, but we'll move past that. Another 100 what? Centimeters. Okay, so she said this side, 39 inches plus a little bit. This side, she said 99, but I said there was more, and she goes, okay, yeah, there's 100. There's just not room to write the 100. There is the line right there. It's hard to see. Why would I have one of these things? To whack a bug?
Yes.
Yes. Why do we use things like this? To measure. So we have measurement here. Do we use this to measure length, time, mass, and weight, or volume and capacity? Length. So something like this is used to measure length. So let's think about it from small units of measure to large units of measure. So our first small unit of measure, if I had, and let's do what we're used to. If I'm looking at this side, okay, there it comes. What's the first unit of measure under that I see? One what? Inch. So let's write inch. I-N-C-H. After we have inches, what do we have next? Ethan.
Centimeters.
Oh, that's on the other side. We'll get there. Oh, let's see. Do I have one close by? I do. Look at this. I'm sorry, people at home, you can't really see what's all going on here. I'll try to put this down. But everybody, what is this? Well, this is a ruler. They're a lot different in size.
It's a yardstick.
This isn't a yardstick.
That's a meter stick.
This is a meter stick. This is a yardstick.
They're both same thing.
Are they? Are they? I'm sorry, people, we are checking things out here. We're noticing that these two are not the same. Notice the difference in length. And there's this one. We're talking about our ruler. What kind of a ruler is this? What does this ruler measure? Grace?
Feet.
It measures feet. Instead of making it plural, I'm going to make it singular. I'm going to call it a foot. Inches is plural. Feet are plural. How many inches are in a foot? 12. Okay, Jacob. Jacob was telling me that one of these is a yardstick. Which one of these is the yardstick?
The shorter one.
Okay, Millie says it's a shorter one. Okay, because if we look at the final length, this one is 39, this one is 36. Why is the one that's 36 the yardstick? Because it's a yard. What does that mean?
3 feet.
Because it's 3 feet. 3 feet, 3 1-foot pieces, 3 green rulers are going to make a yard. And 39.5 makes a meter. So now that we have finished this, okay, Ethan, I want you to try to keep up with this. Let's take out this dreaded meter stick.
Why is it dreaded?
Because we're not very good. If I told you how long is 20 centimeters, would you be able to tell me what that is in inches? Looks like it's about,
Sorry.
it looks like it's about, 20 centimeters is about 7 3/4 inches. See, there's a 20. Oh, maybe it's closer to 8. Maybe 7/8 inches. 7 7/8 inches. So there we're looking at that. So here's our meter stick. What's the smallest unit of measure that we see on our meter stick? We see centimeters. Centimeter. Centa means 100. That means 100 centimeters go into this meter stick. Is there anything smaller on this?
Notice something in centimeter.
Millimeters.
This
Now,
tiny
millimeter is larger or smaller than a centimeter? It is smaller. Thank you. So if we look at our chart on the wall, when we have a cent, cent means 100. If we have a mil, it means 1,000. And what's so confusing is there's also kilo, which also means 1,000. However, if you are able to be close enough to see this, cent means 100 or 100th. Please. So if we have the word cent in the front of centimeter, I went down a few spaces. Cent means 100 or 100 with a TH. So it means two things.
Oh, can we just write the number?
I would like you to write the actual words so you know the difference. I know.
Tragedy.
It is. Then we're going to write the word mil, and we're going to skip a line and write the word kilo. This country, in my opinion, should just switch to the metric system because the rest of the world is doing the metric system. It would just be so much easier. The problem that is with factories. Factories are not all factories are set up for the metric system. And then they have to retool, and that's very, very expensive. If we look at the word mil, it means 1,000 or 1,000 with a TH. It can mean 1,000 or 1,000th, depending on what it's attached to and what we're measuring. Kilo only has one meaning. 1,000. So when we talk about these words, and it's hard to keep them straight without practice. I've had to practice these so that I can keep them straight. And even when I was at your age, they were trying to teach us the metric system, and it was just like, well, how do you know which one's which? This one means this, and this one means that, but then another one means something else. And it's just, you need to understand the practice, what it means. In our standard measure, we have inches, feet, and then we have yards. It goes into other things as well, but those are what we're used to measuring with. The problem we have then is getting into our metric system. 100 centimeters make a meter. 1,000 millimeters make a meter. To have a kilometer, we need 1,000 meters. And so we need our other word, meter. Meter is our standardized term in the metric system. So everything revolves around the meter stick. Boys. In the metric system, it revolves around the meter stick. We're either going to have parts of the meter stick or we're going to have multiple meter sticks. Is it easier to think about it that way?
Yeah.
If we think of the meter stick. So if we're going to have a kilometer or a kilometer, however you want to pronounce it, that means we have to have 1,000 meter sticks. If we have a meter, how many do we have? One. If I have some centimeters, do I have a whole meter stick? Let's say I have 20 centimeters.
No.
I don't have a whole meter stick, so I have part of a meter stick, which is where we're getting into the TH at the end. If I'm talking about millimeters, that's even tinier yet. And again, we have the TH on the end of them because we're talking about a part of a whole unit. What's the whole units in metric? Our whole unit, what we would think of as one? The meter. So then the centimeters, it takes 100 of them to make a meter. Millimeters, it takes 1,000 of them to make a meter. Okay, we're out of time right now. We will be doing some going back and forth between these sort of things. We have time to talk about, that's pretty simple. Mass and weight, volume and capacity. Okay, so you guys leave your things out. We're going to pause. We're going to come back and talk about this just a little bit more, but not a lot more today. Uh-oh. I don't know where the other part is.
Oh, Miss Radis, Mr. Calio said we don't need our Chromebooks.
Okay, but I'm not seeing where the rest of my buttons are. Do you?
No.
Okay. Well, I guess we're stopping the sharing.